To those who have seen films like Barbarian, The Hills Have Eyes, and the vastly inferior sequel, The Hills Have Eyes 2, Electric Inbred Mountain-Dwelling Mutant Boogaloo, I have a question for you all. Have you ever wondered what it would be like if a studio looked at those three films and said, you know, those three films have some good points. Barbarian was really good. The Hills Have Eyes was good to an extent. The Hills Have Eyes 2 existed. But we could take parts of those three films and we could human centipede them together and present them to an audience with a 98-minute runtime. Oh, you haven't wondered about that? Well, what about if that studio looked at those three films, saw the parts that they needed, human centipede those parts together, and produced that 98-minute runtime film on a super micro budget? Oh, you're still not wondering. You're still not quite enticed. Well, okay, let me just expand one more time on this goddamn question. What if the studio looked at those three films and said, we're going to take parts from those three films, we're going to human centipede them together. It's not just going to be a super micro budget, it's going to be super micro budget with super unlikable characters, and it's going to be filmed in a country with ties to apartheid. Oh, you're still not wondering? Well, fuck it. Here's Match, which is a Tubi original from the director of Killer Body Count and the remake of Slumber Party Massacre and others. Check out their IMDb page for the full list and other work, and this was written by the Kaplan brothers, who did Lowlifes, another Tubi original that, oh boy, it had an interesting concept. That's about all I can say about Lowlifes. It is not something that sticks in my mind as being the absolute worst, so I can't really say too much about it. That being said, when I saw the trailer for this, I'm like, okay, you have Paula, I'll just say Paula, it's just easier. You know, like the insult that he used for Paul Orndorff, because, you know, homophobia was fun in wrestling in the 90s. I think we don't have that now. That being said, Burley Gonzalez, who was in Tarot, or Tarot as I call it, because Tarot was terrible, tarotable, as it were. Should have workshopped that. She is doing a lot of matchmaking, give me a match, buy me a pine, paint me a catch, or trying to find a catch, however those lyrics go. And she's going on dates, doesn't work. She meets a guy named Henry. She goes to his house, and then suddenly she doesn't come home. And this is bad because her dad, who is blind, is getting heart surgery. And her sister, Maria, played by Carlos Santana. Actually, the song is played by Carlos Santana, not Maria, played by Carlos Santana. That would be weird. I also think with his views, he probably wouldn't want to do that. That's Shani Jimenez, who goes on a search for her sister. That's your plot. That's it right there. Without spoiling, if you've seen the trailer, you might think you're in for a fun, goopy ride with some crazy twists and turns. No, you're not. You are not. This was an abomination of a horror movie. Despite the fact that the cast is certainly trying, and there are reviews that are saying, oh, this is fun. Here's the thing. I don't mind a film being, balls to the wall crazy. I don't mind a film being just mean-spirited or having stupid characters if there's a reason for it. But this is basically a one-location shoot, because I don't think the budget was very high. I mean, there was prosthetics for one particular character that I'll talk about that seemed like they were super fucking uncomfortable. But realistically, a 98-minute movie with about 40 minutes worth of material. This was agonizing. This was terrible. I hope the cast can go on to do bigger and better things. I thought Tarot was terrible. I thought other, films that some of the cast members were in were terrible. No, this is really fucking bad. We do get to see matches at some point because it's so dark that our star has to light a match. And lighting a match isn't going to get rid of the stink of this film. I mean, I'm going to be perfectly honest. While I try not to be mean-spirited, fuck this movie. Fuck the fact that it was goddamn funded, apparently, by people that just want to throw away money. I do not understand how in the world anybody could have looked at the script and said, yeah, we need to have this script with even more dumb characters than possible. Characters that, if they had made one goddamn right decision, yeah, the movie might have been over sooner, but also we wouldn't have had a finale that featured so much stupidity. The final 20 minutes featuring so much goddamn bullshit. People making dumb decisions like we shouldn't go there, but we did. This house where the thing the whole, movie basically takes place seems to consist of 5 fucking rooms, by the way. What is it? Who was this for? Who is this fucking for? I thought the rule of Jenny Penn was mean-spirited. No, this was super mean-spirited. And it wasn't even like, oh, okay, the villains, I'll see them get their comeuppance. Or, oh, the heroes, sure, they're just, golly gee, they're in over their head, they're doing all... No, nobody in this was redeemable. Everybody fucking deserved the fate that they got. There's just so much wrong with this movie. There's a trope in this that worked in another movie that I reviewed recently for one of the only times. And yeah, we just get this, we just get this trope out in the open for goddamn no reason. And if you know what movie I'm talking about, you know what trope I'm referring to. If you don't, you'll find out in the spoilers. But good goddamn Christ. I mean, for the first, 15 minutes, maybe 20, there's something that kind of could be there. But then it falls and keeps stumbling. And again, it's like they're just going in circles because I honestly think this house had to consist of like 5 rooms, maybe 7. And so many questions about how in the world this particular place was not, discovered by the police. And then when I found out it was filmed in Cape Town, South Africa, I understood why. Hell, Oscar Pistorius got exonerated because they found footprints outside his house. And I'd feel bad, but I don't, because the motherfucker murdered his girlfriend. Anyway, this is just brutally agonizing, smashing you over the fucking head with stupid character decisions. I'm not even going to try to hit myself in the head too much, but god damn it. The narrative was terrible. The dialogue was shit. The acting was not good. I'm sorry. Everything about this screamed low-rent, outlaw bullshit. I'm going to get into spoilers. I don't care if I offend anybody. This movie was rotten. It needs to be called rotten. Spoilers. The doctor was cute. Whoever was on the computer. So, yeah. Paula basically goes on a bunch of dates. There's one point where a guy sends a dick pic. Don't send dick pics, guys. Unless you're asked to, don't. Just don't. The dad is blind and getting a stent put in. And there is a sweet moment where you have Maria and Paula singing to their father. And that's kind of sweet. Like, okay, there are parts where I wanted this to be something that I could at least sink my teeth into. Or, there'd be darkly comedic moments. No redeeming characters. Every bit of like any bit of character building was just smashed down immediately. So anyway, she tries to have a conversation with this guy Henry that she's talking to, but the internet goes out. So she decides to go to the house anyway. The mother greets him, and basically she keeps sending messages. And her phone keeps buzzing. And she finally realizes too late after taking a laced drink that, oh shit, the mother has the phone because the mother's been doing all this. Because the mother is trying to get her son to impregnate a woman. And the reason that the son can't do this is the son's a fucking mutant hunchback. I'm making this sound a lot more interesting than it plays out, by the way. Troll in the dungeon. Paula's tied down in a chair, but she pukes seeing him. He slips in a puke and bashes his head against the goddamn bed banister or the bed frame. By the way, we got 2 hallway scenes in like 15 minutes. It was like the PT demo, if the PT demo was made by a fucking sea cucumber. Oh, and the Kaplan brothers. If this is the best you can fucking do, stick to writing. Or stick to doing the music department like for Terrifier. I don't know if they did it for Terrifier 3 or not. Because I'm sorry. Maybe their script actually was good and funding just cut it down. So maybe I should add that caveat. But the director, Killer Body Count was pretty much meh. And if this is any indication of what they can do with horror, I really don't want to see anything else they do. So she manages to see him. She sees him knocked out, and instead of she has this trophy that kind of looks like a fucking iron, honestly, like the iron piece for Monopoly. And instead of bashing him in his hump, bashing him in the head, she doesn't do that. Now, yes, that is horror movie 101. You don't kill a character when you should. But then it just got worse because she got her foot caught in a mouse trap. And there are a bunch of mouse traps around apparently because there's dead bodies everywhere and they have rats. I don't know, maybe don't do this shit. So basically she ends up basically using a match to light her way down this dark hallway where apparently they don't have electricity. She manages to tie her foot up. She sees a bunch of dead women. And basically the mother ends up showing the mutant hunchback son, Henry, what to do by basically having him, getting his dick hard. He has like elephant-sized dick, by the way. I don't know why in the world anybody thinks that incest is something that we should dive in. Like, with the exception of Bone Lake, and since I'm in spoilers, I feel I can say that. With the exception of that, like that actually making it darkly comedic, this is just like, okay, now we're just being lazy and stupid. Like, how did any of this happen? Like, how did these people fall for this? Yes, I know it's supposed to be kind of a social commentary about people falling for the online dating shit and whatever. But god damn it, all these characters are fucking stupid. And then, yeah, basically the mother plays a song to calm him down. That's something that plays a little bit later on. Incest, for what reason? So fuck whoever came up with this goddamn bullshit, because you're just fucking lazy. So the police are no help to Maria, so Maria decides to get a guy named Ryan to come and help out. But that's later. The mother talks to a woman on a laptop. Again, the doctor, whoever the doctor was, she was cute. And then while Henry he got encouraged to try and impregnate this woman. Lucille's very sick, but they kind of dropped that a little bit later on. And she encourages Henry to go impregnate Paula. Well, Paula ends up, even though she's getting trapped and pinned down and everything, she gets a mousetrap and puts it on Henry's dick. And that would have been enough, probably, even with an elephant dick, to probably cut off the circulation and make it where the entire head would have come off, but I digress. And then about halfway through, she starts hallucinating, realizing, oh shit, it's her dad. He's getting surgery. She hallucinates a live baby in the bed, assuming that this stuff has happened before, or a woman's gotten pregnant before, because there are women's bodies in this one area, and that apparently are all the women that, were supposed to date Henry. And yeah, then she runs into a room, and there's that guy. Oh my god, it's Henry. It's the guy on the video. It's actually Eli, who's in a wheelchair, who has no feet, or damaged feet. He's double Carrie Von Erich. And they have a discussion where, for some reason, she takes sympathy on him and falls for him. Despite the fact that he has no feet and that there's something clearly off about the fact that this guy's here, he's being used, he's been trapped there for a while, and he's been used as catfishing. Speaking of catfishing, there is a woman named Natalie that uses a profile picture that's a little bit younger, a little bit trimmed down. There's nothing wrong with the actress played Natalie. I do want to say that right there. That is just something that comes into play a little bit later on. Nothing wrong with the actress played her. Nothing but respect. But Eli is his name, the guy's name. And at one point, while Maria is trying to sneak into the building with Ryan, Natalie shows up. Natalie then sees blood in a goddamn handkerchief and starts freaking out. And then we get, Paula showing up with bolt cutters. She manages to free Eli from his chains, pushing him down, stuff like that. And oh shit, you can always hear Henry coming, and Henry's shambling and this kind of stuff. And he's so goddamn incapable of moving. Those prosthetics must have been uncomfortable. That you could easily go around him. You could easily knock him over. By the way, if you push him, just push him over. You couldn't pin him like the hunchback idea that Jim Hurd had. But then Ole Anderson is slap at a submission hold on him and beat him. I just beat your unbeatable tag team. Only deep cut wrestling fans will get that. So, Maria and Ryan show up. Natalie shows up. They take down Lucille pretty easily. And Natalie's like, no, I'll stay along for this because I just whack-a-moled somebody. So let's go find your sister. By the way, we have 23 minutes left of this movie, or roughly. Ryan then has a police baton that actually Natalie ended up using but got knocked out of his pocket. And they see Henry, and he has a bright idea to have the police baton but not use it. And that's also because Henry has a bat with a board with nails in it. And then he got a bigger board with bigger nails. And then soon he got a board with nails so big in it, it would destroy the movie, which wouldn't take much. A slight breeze would have destroyed this movie. So he gets his face taken off because he's stupid. Natalie ends up getting killed because she's stupid. And then Lucille is still alive. She was just knocked out. Mind you, again, they're just going around like in a couple hallways. I get if a movie has a small budget, but Jesus Christ, you're not even hiding it. So it turns out that Eli, by the way, is actually the brother of Henry. And yes, Lucille's his mother. And he was supposed to, have a way to slow them down by having him taken along. But he didn't do it. And so it's down to Maria. It is down to Paula. And it's Eli in a wheelchair against Lucille, who has a gun. And let me refer to my fucking notes here. So, yeah. Just what the fuck is it? What the fuck is this? So anyway, Maria takes her down with a fucking spine buster almost and is beating her. And instead of getting the gun, or instead of knocking her out, instead of doing this, there's a wine bottle that got smashed. And the end of it is used to slice Maria's neck. So she's dead because Paula's an idiot. This dumb bitch. And I know, again, dumb characters, horror movies, I get it. But god damn it. And then Henry, by the way, had the board with the nails in it stuck in his back before all this stuff happened with his mother. And he decides he's got a gash in his hump. He shows up. Eli got shot. So he's dead. Oh no. And Paula's broken up. Well, he lied to you about being the brother. Also, if you're that desperate for a fucking connection, you know what? You asked for all this shit to happen, honey. Anyway, so Henry then decides to beat the shit out of his mother and kill her because he's tired of her bullshit and tells Paula to leave. Then the dad wakes up. And then we get to just fuck it. Fuck it! Whoever funded this needs to be investigated for money laundering. God damn it. I don't know why this movie made me so angry. Maybe it's just so frustratingly inept on multiple levels with characters that even one right decision, I'm talking near the end. You want to have a series of bad decisions and then have a payoff? Fine. But Paula didn't deserve to live. Nobody deserved to fucking live. Wish I hadn't. Wish this movie had just ended my... Just a movie. At the end of the day, it's fine. But I'm sorry. This is up there on the worst movies of the year list. This is worse than The Rule of Jenny Penn. Because at least that had a good opening scene. And at least that had Jeffrey Rush and John Lithgow. This has a very beautiful lead actress. Humberly Gonzalez is very attractive. And hopefully gets a chance to do better projects than this. F. Gets an F. This is fucking rotten. On so many levels. Oh yeah, and fuck South Africa, by the way. Anyway, agree, disagree with what I said. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter, Letterboxd, Blue Sky handles in the description. I'm John Ritland, and until we hopefully never have to watch shit like this again, I give it till next week. Happy trails to you.